Well, welcome everyone. I know we have 11 so far. We're in the double digits, so hopefully all 24 can make it. But I hope everyone is having a wonderful Wednesday so far. This is the final UnWind Wednesday, and I'm super excited. If this is your first one and we haven't met yet, my name is Kayla Overton. I am a Pilates instructor here in DC, along with Hannah Smith, who is on, and then Kiana is going to be an instructor soon. And then we also obviously have other DC people. I've been teaching for about a year now, and this is a full circle moment to have Sonja on the call. She's going to be speaking with us in just a second, but it's so full circle because when I was going through my teacher training this time last year, I followed the Black Girl Pilates page, and that's honestly how I started meeting a lot of even instructors and just getting connected with people in Atlanta who are doing Pilates. And I'm really excited for us to hear from her, whether you're an instructor or you do Pilates, you exercise doing classes or whatever it is. I think just Sonja has a lot of great things to share. So we'll get into that in just a second. But with our UnWind Wednesday, it's been a 6-week series that has been completely donation based. It started with being just a class where my family and friends who are from all over the South, I'm from Houston, I just wanted to put together a class to be able to teach mat Pilates with them. Side note, this has become my full-time job. And so I was like, I need to just get teaching a little bit more doing that. And so I was like, come on, family, y'all, let's go virtually. I'm going to teach y'all Pilates. And then it was like, okay, I'm going to just go ahead and start a series. And so that is why it has been great to meet new faces through this series where you're getting even just like this nice midweek reset. Any cost anywhere. If you want to donate, you can with the QR code there. But it's just a great way for us to gather, even if it is virtually. So the way we have usually started it is I kicked it off by doing a Women's History Month feature. That was in March. We are in April, but we're going to continue that today. So we started out with a feature there. Then we would start with a affirmation reading, followed by some rib cage breathing, which is really important in Pilates. And then we would finish with about 35 minutes of Pilates. However, today's class is going to be the most special. We're going to stick to that format, but here's Sonja. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see the past women's features, and then I'm going to pass it over to Sonja. Not pass it over, but I'm going to have some nice questions for her. Yeah. All right. And then, of course, if you have any questions for Sonja, feel free to put them in the chat too. And that would be great to just follow along. So first, we started out, again, Women's History Month with the feature, and it was none other than the Kathy Grant, who is one of the, I like to call her, she wasn't the founder of Pilates, but I think she helped Joseph Pilates elevate a lot of the exercises that we see today because of her dance background. And so we started with Kathy. Oops. And then our next one, if my screen will pull up, there we go. Our next one was my aunt, Marva Overton. That same Wednesday, her nonprofit, she's a part of the African American Alliance for Health in Central Texas. It just happened to be the Giving Day in Texas where they're raising a lot of money for nonprofits. And so I wanted to shout her out because she does a lot in the Austin community to help all Black people, but specifically even women with doing some breast cancer mammograms and testing there. Then we went to Rosalind Daniels, who is the founder and CEO of Black Health Matters. My DC people, actually this Wednesday in particular, they're hosting a free health and health summit and expo that is in the city. I believe it's a hybrid event. Yeah, it's a hybrid event, and it is, again, free of cost. You can meet different practitioners there and also just get a chance to join in on some really cool sessions about health, fitness, and then there's also like some screenings and things that are going to be on site. And then our other feature that was last week was none other than Janice Scott, who is the founder of OTG Athleisure. OTG, it's a nice brand, as you can see, very colorful, very bright, vibrant. And then they also have long sets with some new things coming out soon. And I'm excited to mention that because if you didn't see, now that this is the completion of this series, I am doing a wellness bag giveaway. OTG, they are a part of it. They're donating a $50 gift card. Then we also have Calabash Tea and Tonic. It's here based in DC. I don't know if my DC folks have had it, but their teas are really, really good. And they're donating a de-stress bundle that I think fits perfectly with unwinding on a Wednesday. And then we'll also have what's called Spy Belt. And they have different types of running belts. And I am going to be donating one of those to the wellness bag, along with some face masks, some stationery, and some other goodies. So make sure you submit your entry. It's on Instagram, submitted by 11:59, and we're going to have a winner tomorrow. So get your entry in. Super excited for that. Just be able to give that to somebody who has participated in Unwind Wednesday. All right. So our next and final Women's History Month feature is the Sonja Herbert, founder of Black Girl Pilates, who is online. So I'm going to stop sharing here and make sure I can see you guys. Sonja, welcome to Unwind Wednesday. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you reaching out to invite me. And actually, I'm going to shift my camera or my computer this way, I think. Actually, I'm going to change myself for a second.
I hope you don't. Yeah, go ahead. I'll read this bio, and I hope you don't mind. While I did take some tidbits off your website, I did zhuzh it up to make it my own a little bit so I could really shout you out. So for everyone, obviously we all know her, Sonja, the founder and creator of Black Girl Pilates. That is a platform educating, mentoring, and highlighting Black Pilates instructors. Based in Atlanta, Georgia, Sonja teaches as an instructor while also working as a social worker. I actually learned today that she is going to be graduating from graduate school very soon. So congratulations.
After a million years.
A true advocate and supporter. Yes. Come on, horns and all the confetti. Yes. And then she is also a member of Sigma Gamma Rho Incorporated. I had to throw that in there. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Her commitment to building community and supporting Black Pilates instructors is evident in her Instagram platform of over 20.8 thousand followers. There's also a Facebook group called Black Girl Pilates Tribe for non-instructors too, where people will share their love, questions, and comments about this amazing modality. But she's also doing the work on the ground too. Sonja launched the Black Girl Pilates Conference that brought together instructors from all over for a day of learning and development. Sonja, I have to say what a pleasure it is again to have you here. Your platform, I think I've told you a lot, even in DMs, how much it's meant to me when I was going through my teacher training. And then just on behalf of the group, I just want to say thank you so much. And again, welcome to Unwind Wednesday.
Well, thank you again. Thank you so much for letting me sort of transition from my kitchen. That's usually where I do most of my watching. You watch a lot of see, I'm usually in the kitchen. And the reason why is because my dogs, they be show. But it's just easier sometimes. But yeah, so I appreciate being here, and you know, it's a pleasure to meet you all. And what I'll say about me is you know, the same person that you see online is pretty much the same person that you're going to meet in person, except for I'm short. Most people expect me to be tall, but I'm only 5'3". I'm a very short person and little, so you end up looking down instead of looking up. I just present. I present.
I would have guessed like 5'6", 5'7". So good to know when I meet you in Atlanta.
Some people think that I am taller. And even when they've spoken to me on the phone, when they meet me in person, they're like, "Oh my God, like what happened?" I don't know. I didn't get the tall genes. So my brothers are all taller than I am. My kids, my nieces, my nephews,
everybody. You have a tall personality though, and that's what counts. No, nobody can make you feel short. Well,
that's right.
Sonja, one thing I want to definitely hear about is tell us about your journey to becoming an instructor and maybe what along that sparked Black Girl Pilates.
Well, Pilates just kind of found me, to be honest. I wasn't really looking for, I didn't even know what it was. And so my kids were going to this, it was like a art school in Harlem. And my daughter had been dancing, since she was about 6. And so when we moved to New York, I wanted to keep her in dance because she really loved it. She was great at it, whatever. And so she was going to Harlem School of the Arts, and my son was going there for drumming. But it's mostly my daughter, like, who was dancing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of her teachers, Cynthia Shipley, the Black woman, I had found out from a friend of mine, because I was also, I was, for the amount of time Rebecca was there, I guess I was like a dance assistant. So I basically co-taught like ballet, modern, those kind of stuff, lower level. Sometimes I would go up to the pre-professional level, but really enjoyed it. They didn't pay me, but I got to do a lot of stuff, which was cool. Audition. And so one of my really close friends, who I was his assistant, he had told me, he's like, I started going to this class with Shipley's teachers called Pilates. I was like, I've never heard of it. And I was like, what is it about? He's like, it's about the core, whatever. And so I was just like, whatever. And like, I think I'm good. Because I've always like been a lifter pretty much, prior to that. And so he's like, well, just come take the class, whatever. It's like, okay, well, if Miss Shipley's teaching it, then I'm definitely coming, because I love her. She's fantastic. So go to the class, and he's there demonstrating and stuff. And I'm very competitive. So I don't know if y'all know that, but I am very competitive. And so I was like, there's no problem. Oh boy, couldn't do some of the exercises. And I was like, man, I will be back. So I just,
a natural competitor. You're like, I got to keep going and get better.
You gotta go catch me slipping out here, like. So, but I also liked how I felt afterwards, and so I kept going, and I have something of an addictive personality. Like when I find something, like I just get laser focused on it, which is why I have 2 dogs. I just, that's what I want to do. I just, whatever. And so I was going to this chiropractor, and I was telling him what, I was like, I started taking this class called Pilates and blah, 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 and it makes me feel good. And he's like, well, keep going there. I was going twice a week. And he's like, keep going there twice a week and come to me once a week, and your body will change. And I was like, and it did. I mean, I was having like this deep inner pain in, I think it was like in my right hip, especially after, because I would take Miss Shipley's ballet class. And after then, when I would get home, it was just like this pain. I was like, God, what was it? But after I started taking Pilates, it was gone. It was completely gone. And I was like, my goodness, like, what is this? So again, I laser focus. Like, I'm just, what is this? Looking everything up, blah, 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 whatever, asking her, and then I said to her, I was like, so why don't more Black people know about this? Because there I was, in a Black school with a Black teacher with Black people taking this class every time. And, I had wanted to do something in fitness. I just wasn't sure what it was. And as most, textbook Sagittariuses, we love a lot of things. And so social work is just like one of the things I love besides music and stuff like that. So I just really fell in love with it. And from there, I talked to Ms. Shipley about getting certified. I found a place to get that certification. And, in about, I think 2006 is when I got my mat certification. And again, Sagittarius, always looking for more. I was like, this can't be it. Like, this cannot be everything. Surely there's more. And the certification program that I ended up going to, they also did comprehensive certification. So I can teach on all the pieces of equipment that Joseph Pilates has made, right? And so I was like, I can't stop here. And I also to offer my clients more. I wanted to know more. And I was really committed to taking this to the Black community because I was already in Harlem. And so I wanted to learn as much as I could. I would buy all the books, all the videos, all the everything, just trying to figure out, what this was and how to do it. This, that, I would practice all the time. And it was just, I was just on this, I was so excited, as most Sagittarius are when we find something that we like. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, pretty much the rest is history. So I'll be teaching 19 years.
Oh my gosh.
No,
Woo!
19 years, maybe. Let me see. I started teaching in 2006.
Mm,
So do the math. I think that's 19 years.
yeah.
But I got my certification, my math certification, I think in June of 2006 or July.
Yeah.
I have to look at, I think I still have my certificate, and then my comprehensive certification I got in October of 2007.
And can you, for people who may not know, just like real quick, break down the difference of or what comprehensive is?
Mm-hmm. So comprehensive certification is going to include all the parts of the method, meaning your mat work and anything that you do on any piece of equipment, or any, I'll say all pieces of equipment, because, and this is no shade to anyone by any means, but so nowadays, because it's trending to go to studios who are just reformer based, right? And that's cool. That's a great way to introduce folks to Pilates, to a piece of equipment. But there are so many more pieces of equipment than just the reformer, than just a chair.
Mm,
There's a ladder barrel. There's a bunch of different like barrels that we use. There's about 3 different chairs that we use. There are other smaller pieces of equipment. Like this man basically created something from head to toe. Like there's a neck stretcher. There is something for your fingers, right? There's
foot corrector. I learned about that one. Foot corrector.
yeah, there's a foot corrector. There's the toe extensor. I mean, so there's something for, again, head to toe, pretty much. And so it's not just the reformer. So I can basically use all those pieces of equipment that's out there. And some I had to learn after my certification, because it just depends um, on what the Pilates studio has
Yeah.
available. But fortunately, I had some wonderful coworkers who, when I worked at Equinox full time, we had some of those pieces. Well, I think it was maybe just the armchair, and I had never really used it. And so one of my coworkers had taught me how to use it and stuff like that. And then I was, again, like, fanatic, just, oh my God, I got to just
Yeah.
learn, whatever. I got to watch these videos. I got to, all this stuff.
Yes, absorb as much as you can, because it is so much. Like I am in training for baby chair and high chair. I didn't even know there was a baby chair. I thought it was Wanda. There's
Yeah.
2 more. I was really surprised by that. And in a lot of the what I've been taught is a lot of those different pieces are kind of within like the classical method. But there's going to be some studios who will have a reformer in a chair, like Sonja said. But thinking about how there are all these different pieces of equipment, what is a piece of advice that you have for someone, whether they're an instructor or even a student, to come into Pilates less intimidated?
Hmm. I have advice for people who
Taking the Sagittarius hat off.
I have advice for other people. It's different for Black people when we walk into any space. It doesn't matter what space it is. It's just different for us. Going to work, like, getting in the car. I mean, it's just different, and there's an intimidation factor there, you know, at all. But I think, and I hope that a lot of my colleagues, especially those of us who've been teaching for a while and know our Black history, and are teaching our students their Black history, that now there will be less intimidation as you walk in. I think most intimidation usually is like, well, I know how to do these exercises. Do I need to be prepped? Do I have to get prepped for the exercises?
Mm-hmm.
Those kinds of things. And I feel like that is our job as instructors to, let our students know, like, no, like you are the prep, just
Right.
like Beyonce said, you said you want a visual, y'all are the visuals.
You are
So,
the visuals. Yes.
So you are the prep. I mean, we can't have the class without you. And
Exactly.
you don't come in off the bat, knowing how to do everything. It's totally fine to be challenged. It's totally fine to be like, wow, you should want to come in and go, I can't do that, but damn, I'm going to come back so I can learn. And I like how it feels, even though it was hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And so, I don't know if I could necessarily give people advice about, working through feeling intimidated and stuff like that. But, as I was saying before, I'm hoping that the more that you all know your history, whether you are an instructor or just someone walking into a studio, you can walk in there with the confidence of Kathy Grant, because that withstood, we don't know half of the things that she experienced, and
Right.
stuff, other than what we have been told. But now we should be able to walk into a studio and just not really give a damn, to be honest, because
That part.
yeah, I mean, one of the greatest to ever do it was Black. So one of the greatest
Mm-hmm.
that was certified. Was your person certified? No, she sure wasn't. Was she? Oh, I don't think she was.
Amen. I like what Courtney said here in the chat. She said, one of my statements I open each of my classes, there's no winning in Pilates. It's your practice.
Yeah, she
I like
basically
that.
said it right there. There's no competition in Pilates. It's like who can stay in the teaser. I mean, you don't get no prizes. You just walk out. Your prize is to walk out of there feeling like you were just out there like a Jodeci video and the rain is falling on you and you're begging for your woman to come back home. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So that is your prize, I mean, my God. What else?
Period. Like, just come in, get in your workout. When people ask, like, how can I progress from former 1 to 2 or 2 to 3? A lot of times it's like this mentality of like, I just want to get better and better. And I tell them like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to get better, but I try to frame it, Courtney, to like that same thing. It is like practice. It's just a journey, and like, let your body flow into it. Like, don't force yourself to like learn every single thing. It really is a practice. Just like us as teachers, we're always learning. One person actually asked, and I believe they're actually on the line, do you have any advice for new instructors regarding creating community, authenticity, and content? So I guess 3 different pillars to that: community, authenticity, and content. I kind of feel like authenticity goes with content.
Content.
Mm-hmm. I guess in terms of social media, maybe.
Oh, social media. So, as far as like creating community, I have always wanted to make sure that my classes, because I like to teach it all. Like, I'll teach a bunch of people, 2 people, 1 person, you name it. I've taught 30 people, crazy stuff, but it's really important that the group of people that you're working with, particularly if you're teaching classes, that you help them create a community, and the community starts with you, right? You want to let your students know that you actually care, that you're not just, get on the reformer, put your feet on the bar and start pushing out. I mean, that's cool and everything, but you also want them to know that you do care. And I'm not saying that you should do this, right? But what the way that I would run my classes was I always ask my client, well, I always ask my clients how they were feeling, but I actually really meant it. And that meant sometimes like it was a bit of a conversation about what's going on. Now, of course, I had to, because they be preaching and stuff in there, but I really wanted to know, because sometimes that would guide my class, even though I would already have, something in mind that I wanted to do, it would still guide my class sometimes. And I think that the way that I am, like a lot of, it could be, I don't know, maybe it's the spirit of social work or something, but my clients will just be telling me all kind of stuff, like sometimes, it's somebody that died or whatever. This is like, but
or they'll go off about their relationship. I've had several.
Still have to manage that. But just letting them know that you genuinely care about them, besides whether or not they can do 5 leg circles or not, with their head up or down or whatever, some variation, like it's more than you just going in and teaching them a bunch of exercises. And so I also would include my students in actually demonstrating exercises, because I was like, this ain't my class. I mean, sometimes I would demonstrate, but I would use them as like my Vanna Whites, because most of them were white. So I was like, so I would call them like, okay, such and such, like, you be my Vanna White today. They just thought they was just the bomb, like, oh my God, oh, wow, like I am the teacher, whatever. It's like, let me show you, and I would use everybody, even if they didn't think that they were that great, whatever. I was just like, we're going to use such and such as an example. Let me show you what I'm looking for, whatever. And I would say, and I would encourage them like, hey, they did a good job, clap for them, whatever, all this kind of stuff like that. And so I would I wanted to create this whole community so that whenever I had a new student come in, that I didn't have to worry about them, because they already knew what I wanted them to do. They knew that I might be over here working with this new student, like my eyes is circling around my head, and all this stuff. And also, when it, like if I was doing like a tower class or something like that, I would use my students again, like as assistants, and I'd be like, hey, ask if you don't know if you don't know which spring to take off or whatever, and all this kind of stuff, like ask Gloria, they'll show you. And that's what they would do. So I would involve in the teaching, so then I'm not over there like taking down springs and moving this and moving that and whatever. It's up to them. This is their practice, and that's how you create community, is making them a part of what they came to be a part of. Like if I'm supposed to be serving you, I might as well just go and work at the restaurant downstairs, but I'm not here to do that. This is your class. You need to learn the springs. You need to make sure that when you lay down on that carriage, it's not moving too fast. That if I said 2 springs, and don't put it on any more. So I did talk to them like that. These people were older than me, but I felt it was important, because it also helped me, but it helped them feel a part of the class, and they're not just bodies coming in, laying down and whatever. And so, I had people on my side, because, they knew that I actually genuinely did care about them. So there's that. And then what was the other part? That was community, and what else?
It was authenticity, which I think ties into community. I think you touched on that. And then content.
Yeah. So authenticity, I mean, you're only going to be as authentic as you allow yourself to be. Like I tell my students in my certification class, I was like, listen, first of all, I cannot make you good, nor can I make you whack. So you either be a whack teacher, or you're going to be that's it. I'm going to give you the tool, the knowledge, and all the stuff like that. But if you walk out of here and you say, and somebody says you're a whack ass teacher, it's not my fault, it's you. Because what I will not do is, my certification program could say, because I'm one of the greatest to ever do it for them, they could come in and say that they made me. You didn't make me, my mama and daddy made me. And also myself into the greatest to ever do it. You didn't do that. I did it. You just were the catalyst to that, but that's about it. But I'm great because I chose to be great, because I wanted to be great. And so that feeds into your authenticity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to be a great teacher, if you want to be authentic to yourself, right? You didn't pay all this money for your health. You paid all this money, whatever amount of money you paid, to share what was shared with you, just so people could actually experience what you experience. You want to give people an experience of Pilates, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to show, and this is another thing I tell my students too, is that, like, there's this, and you probably heard this in certification. It's like, especially if it's taught by white people, they have like this Pilates voice and all that stuff. No, your voice is whatever the hell your voice is. If your voice sounds very white, baby, somebody's gonna come in there and they want to hear very white. If you sound like fine, I mean, it just doesn't matter. Like, there's 50 million people, well, gazillion people in the world. And I guarantee you there's going to be a billion people who will love you if you just be you, if you just let them hear your voice, and that's the authenticity there. It's just, are you the same, are you the same bitch you were here than you are out there? Or are you just flipping or whatever? So my students could see me outside and it's the same stuff. I'm still cussing, I'm still whatever, and all that. I still love you and all this kind of stuff, or not like you, but I'll still be nice to you. I'm the same person, in studio, out studio, in social work, with my dogs, with my brothers, with my kids, whatever, that you're going to see online. And so, it's authenticity is there because you want it to be.
Yeah.
And people
all right, we have like 2 minutes, and I want to make sure we touch on this Black Girl Pilates conference that is key for, I know, majority who are on the line and lots of instructors that I see. So tell us all about it. And y'all start looking at your flights to Atlanta. Let's go.
Yeah, it's so we've done one I say we, and it's really just me, to be honest. But I say we because
I'm hearing you need volunteers. I'm hearing she needs volunteers.
It is a community, so that's why I say we. So since 2017, so I think there was 1 year we didn't have it. It might have been 2022, but yeah. So this year is going to be in October. The very first one that we ever had was in October of 2017. So it's kind of cool to like bring it back around. So I'm still in kind of the planning stages, but I do know the people that I want to have there this year. We're going to have panels, and I can literally tell you what we're going to have just based upon what folks have wanted. But
yeah, drop a few of the session topics.
So some of the things we're going to be talking about is kind of the business of Pilates. Those are the things that people wanted to hear, like how to, brick and mortar. They want to hear from people who actually do like pop-ups and, those kinds of things. Like there's so many options, online stuff. There's so many options of ways to do it. You don't have to actually have a space, to teach it nowadays, We're also going to we talked about this last year, but people want to know more about certification. So I have a lot of colleagues who have new certifications. So now, I can bring them in to talk about their specific certifications. I'm hoping, and this is not solidified yet, but I'm hoping to bring in my trademark attorney to discuss trademarking, because when I tell you that is really important, it's really important. And of course, we are going to have, we're going to have folks teaching class. And I had one of my colleagues who is here, Allison, that everybody she got a damn standing ovation. And so they're like, you got to bring her back. And I was like, well, I can't, because she is great. So of course we'll have classes and things like that. But, it'll always be a good time. I don't think there's a year where I didn't really have a good time in some sort of way. And so it's just great just being around, so many wonderful Black folks and talk about Pilates and just see their eyes open and all that kind of stuff, hug people's necks and all that.
Yes. Well, I can't Yeah, I can't wait. I know I missed last year, and so I'm super excited to be in Atlanta in October. Real fast, we're going to do rapid fire. I told you I want to do rapid fire. It's going to be personal and Pilates. All right, here we go. Ready? Tea or coffee?
What'd you say?
Tea or coffee?
T.
Sound like a this or that. Okay, tea. Favorite Pilates apparatus?
Uh, uh, Armchair.
Okay. Vacation, would you choose relaxing or adventurous?
Oh, relaxing. I'm trying to sleep.
Just sleep on a beach.
That's right.
100 on the mat or reformer?
God, neither one of them are great. Maybe the reformer.
Okay. Living single or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Take my black card. I've never really watched either one of them that much. But if I had to choose, I guess I am a huge Will Smith fan, and I met him in person, so I would say Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay. Favorite cue to engage the core?
Favorite cue.
I've heard people have favorite cues, so
I don't know if I really have one, to be honest. I think shit up out there. So, I don't know if I really have one.
no favorite cue. That's all right. One Pilates myth you want to debunk?
Oh, child.
I know, right? You're like, only one?
The first one that comes to mind is that you can that you can build an incredible amount of muscle mass through Pilates, which is a lie from the pits of hell. You can't.
So people who are trying to get bulky, no, not exactly. And then remind the people the conference date.
The conference dates are October 10th through the 12th. That should be correct. Yeah.
It is. It's on my calendar. I wrote it down. Everyone, please give Sonja a nice hand clap thank you for joining and sharing all today. Really appreciate you joining, Sonja, and just giving like these gems. Is there anything else you maybe want to add before we jump into the Pilates portion?
Not really, I guess.
No. Tracy, I see you have your hand up. Did you want to ask a question?
No, I hit the wrong button. That's all. Just blame it on my age. I'm the oldest problem.
that dang button. All right. Well, thank you so much, Sonja. All right, y'all. We're at about 8:12, and so we are going to I'm gonna read the affirmation, and then we're gonna get right into some Pilates. That sound good? Awesome. If you would like to turn your camera on, totally optional. Otherwise, let's all come to a seated position on our mat. I'm gonna make sure mine is adjusted here, and I'm gonna scoot back. So again, when I say Pilates from anywhere, I even mean a studio apartment. So here we go. Everyone's sitting up nice and tall. This is not the right card. All right. So the reflection question I wanted to add today is, who are you today and what gives you a sense of belonging? So close your eyes. I hope everyone's sitting up tall. Place your hands right on top of your knees. You can bring the backs of your palms and then close your eyes. We're going to start with rib cage breathing. So first, take a deep inhale through the nose. Keep your mouth closed and you're going to exhale right out the nose. 2 more breaths like that. Deep inhale and exhale. 1 more breath like that. Who are you today and what gives you a sense of belonging? Now we're going to go to our rib cage breathing. Inhale through the nose. Open your mouth, exhale. Blow all that air out. So our affirmation: the world needs my light and I am not afraid to shine. 2 more breaths. Deep inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. Last one. Deep inhale and deep exhale. All right. And then let's all come onto our mats and we're going to get started. Again, that affirmation, the world needs my light and I am not afraid to shine. So we're going to turn on our mats, legs extended long, and let's roll down onto our backs here. From here, bend your knees right up, hands pressing into your mat. And we're going to stack our hands right behind our head here. With your heels, you want them a little close, not too close to the glutes. So extend your arms out first just to get a sense of where your heels are. Connect them to the tops of your fingertips and then stack those hands right behind your head. We're going for chest lift. Take a deep inhale, curl the tips of your shoulder blades off the mat, and exhale, lower down. Deep inhale, lift. You're squeezing through the abdominals here, and exhale, lower down. 3 more like this. Deep inhale and exhale. Inhale again, lift, and exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower down. Good. From here, we're going to keep our hands right behind our head. Take an inhale, and then you're coming up to your Pilates curl again. The tips of your shoulder blades are off the mat. From here, we're going to bring our knees to tabletop position, tap the right foot down, and lift. And we're alternating to the left. So you're in your chest lift, shoulders are off, tapping one foot down, keeping the knees in a 90-degree angle here. Keep going just like this. I realize for time, we want to make sure we can get through our exercises. Last 2 on each side. And last one. And then lower the shoulders, plant your feet, and then extend your arms along your mat, hands pressing into the carriage. The mat. And from here, we're going shoulder bridge. Inhale, lift the hips off the mat, squeezing through the glutes here. And exhale, lower down from the middle of the spine to the tailbone. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. One more regular one like this. And we roll down on the spine. Good. Extend your right leg up to the ceiling. Your toe is pointed here. We're pushing through the left heel, up, and lower back down. Lift up, exhale, lower down. This time we lift and we hold. Tap your right foot down and lift. Inhale, down, exhale, lift. Keep that toe pointed, pressing through that left heel that's planted on your mat. Last 2. Last 1. Bring the foot all the way up and roll down on your spine and then drop your right foot down onto the mat. We're extending the left leg up to the ceiling. Left toe is pointed. Inhale, lift through your right heel. Exhale, lower down. Feel your spine and print all the way down to your mat. And then lift into the next one. On this next one, we press out of the right heel and hold. Tap the left foot down and lift. Tap down and lift. Squeeze to the core, stay up. Last 2. Last one. Hold, roll down on the spine, and then bring both feet down on the mat. From here, we're bringing the knees up, tabletop position, 90 degrees with the legs. Come up to your Pilates curl, hands begin to hover, and we pump our hands. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. So try to stay rounded in the shoulders here. Keep that gaze towards the belly. If you start to feel any straining in your neck here, simply lower those shoulders all the way down. If you want a bit more of a challenge, let's go into the position where we extend our legs out long, maintain our breath. Keep pumping the hands. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're pumping, we're pumping. Last cycle of breath here. And bend the knees. Lower all the way down. Good. We're going to extend our legs out long on our mat. This time, toes are flexed, so you feel your heels digging into your mat. You don't want to point it like this. Really flex just right here. Both heels into your mat. Hands come up to the ceiling. We're going for roll up. Inhale, tuck the chin toward the chest, and exhale, lift and dive for your toes. Feel that stretch. Now stay really rounded in the spine here. We tuck back. Exhale. And hands come up to the ceiling. They stay up. Inhale, tuck and lift. Squeeze through those abdominals and reach for the toes. And roll all the way down. Last one. Hands come up to the ceiling. Inhale, tuck and lift. Reach for those toes. Let's hold here. Take a deep inhale. Open mouth. Exhale. And then we begin to roll all the way down back onto our mat. Nice job. From here, I'm scooting myself up. Let's meet in tabletop position. Hands are pressing right into your mat here. And then we inhale, hover the arms, bring the hands up towards our shins. We're going double leg stretch. Extend the legs out, arms sweep back behind you. Exhale, come back into your ball. Inhale, extend out, and exhale, come back into your ball. Try to keep those inner thighs connected here. Upper body super stable. And so just the legs extending out, arms extending out. Last two. And last one. And lower all the way down. Nice job. All right. From here, let's be back in tabletop position. This time, we're going to take the left hand to the left shin, and then the right hand's coming to the inside of the knee. So you bring it all the way right onto the side here. We extend the right leg out as our shoulders are up, and we pull on the knee and switch. Pull on the knee and switch. So left hand's on the inside of the knee, right hand's on the shin, and then switch. Last two. And last one on each side. Good. Hold here. Extend both legs up to the ceiling. Stay in your Pilates curl. We're going to reach both hands for the ankle or the shin, and then drop your left leg down. Keep the right leg extended. Pulse for 1, 2. Exhale, switch. Pull. 1, 2. Exhale, switch. Keep going just like this. And we're pulling it in gently towards us for a stretch. So you want to feel your torso really stable here. Keep going. Last two. And last one. And then gently lower your shoulders. Lower your head down. Nice job, nice job. All right, we're going to open up the legs at the bottom again. This time, hands come up to the ceiling. We inhale, tuck, and roll up to the top. Now our legs are a little bit open, and we're going to sit up taller on this one here. Our spine stretch forward. Spine is really, really straight here. Arms extend long. Try not to let your hands go down here towards your knees or too far up. They're right at shoulder height. Inhale, we press out and then down in between the toes. Exhale, reset through the spine, lifting through the abdominals. Arms are up. Inhale, press down and out. And exhale, lift. Restacking the spine nice and tall. Press down and out. And exhale, lift. Press down again. And exhale, lift. Good. Hold here, and we take the arms out into a T. So arms are out really wide like this. Spine is really straight. From here, twist over to your left side. Dive that right pinky for your left pinky toe. Exhale, lift first through the abdominals. Come back to center and rotate to the opposite side. Keep those toes flexed. Lifting through the abdominals as you come up to the center. And dive. Last two on each side here. Good. And then come all the way to center, sit up tall, and then let's swing on over to our right side. So we're in a lying position, legs slightly forward here. So feel almost like your glutes are back towards the edge of your mat. And then from here, we're going to lift the right leg, go up, down, up, down. Now keep breathing. Trying to keep the torso stable. Feel the side along your mat here. Last 3, 2, 1. And then hold at the top. We're going to point the toe, kick forward and back. Forward and back. So your legs going in about a swinging motion here. Trying to keep your torso to the mat. Last 2. And 1. And hold. We're going for leg circles. Small circles. Counterclockwise here. And hold. Reverse your circles. We're going in the other direction. Clockwise. Throw your hip to the mat there. Last 2. Last 1. And lower that foot all the way down. Turn over onto your stomach here. All right, we're coming up on our forearms. Single leg kicks. Flex the toes. We're pulling the leg, the heel in toward our glute. Drop it and switch. So you're on your forearms, bringing your heel toward the glute. Try to keep that thigh glued all the way to your mat here. Feel that stretch in the quad. Last 2. And last 1. Lower both feet down, extend your toes out to point, and then bring a diamond to your mat here and lower your forehead all the way to the center. Open your legs about hip width distance apart, and then toes stay down. We're lifting our chest off the mat and exhale lower. Off the mat and exhale lower. Lift up and exhale lower. This time, let's take the feet right with the chest lift. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower down. Keep going like this. And exhale, lower down. Last 2. And exhale, lower down. Last 1. And exhale, lower down. Nice job. Bring your hands to your side. And then we push back into a child's pose. Hold your stretch here for 3, 2, 1. And then let's come on to all fours. Now I'm turning only because I need to go to the other side, but we're going to come to line on our left. Body's extended long. You're in a slight V with the legs forward. Hand can come to your hip. And from here, we're going to bring the leg up, hover, go up and down, up and down. Try to keep that right leg covered up as you tap down. Maintain your breath. Last 3, last 2, and last 1. Hold it at the top. We're going to point that toe, kick forward and back. I did a really big kick there. It doesn't have to be that big though. Keep breathing just like this. Trying to keep that body stable. So if you feel your hips shifting at all, see if you can use your core a little bit more. Keep it engaged, contract it there. It maybe minimize the movement in your swing of your leg. Last 1. And hold. And then we're going for our circles, counterclockwise. Here we go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Other way. We're going clockwise here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. And turn on your stomach here. Push back to a child's pose. And take the stretch. Good, Courtney. I see you. All right. And then press on up to all fours. From here, you're on your hands and your legs. We're going to extend the right leg out long. Scoot up here. Extend the right leg long. And then left arm goes forward for our bird dog. We're bringing the knee in toward the chest. Bend right at the left elbow. And extend. And come in. Extend. Come in. Squeeze through the core as you're bringing the knee in toward the chest. And find your balance as you extend out. I even had to adjust myself there. Keep going. Last 2. And last 1. And then drop the left hand down. Let's go over to the right side. Right hand's going up, left leg extends long. Extend out and in, out and in. Keep going, just like this. Good. Nice, Kristen. I see you. Point that toe as you're extending here. Last two. And last one. Plant both your hand and your knee, and then push back into your child's pose. All right, everyone take a deep breath here. Inhale and exhale. And then let's meet right back on all fours once again. We're going to do a bit of a combination here. So on this one, we're going to take the right leg out to the side for a fire hydrant, bring it back in toward us, go back for a donkey kick, bring the knee back in, extend the leg long. Option to either tap the foot and then go back into your knee, or you can extend out and push up. So two options here. Here we go. You can fire hydrant out, bring the knee in, donkey kick back, bring the knee in, extend the leg and either tap or push up down, and then bring the knee back in. Fire hydrant, donkey kick, extend, tap or push up, and come all the way back in. Two more on this side. Fire hydrant out, donkey kick back, extend the leg, tap or push up. Last one. Fire hydrant to the side, donkey kick, extend, and push up all the way and come on all fours. Nice job. Roll it out if you need to. Roll the shoulders back for 3, 2, 1. Yes, I see you, Kristen. Good job. Good job. And is that Miss Arlene? I saw you too, Miss Arlene. Good job.
Thank you, babe.
All right, I'm going to turn so y'all can see me on this way. We're on all fours again. Same thing. Here we go. Fire hydrant the left leg out. Come back in. Donkey kick out. Extend, push up, or you tap the leg and bend it back in toward the chest. Fire hydrant, donkey kick, extend, push up or tap. Fire hydrant, donkey kick, extend, push up or tap. Last two, fire hydrant, donkey kick, extend, tap or push up. And we're on the last one here, fire hydrant to the side. Last one's the best one, donkey kick, extend, push up, come all the way down to all fours, and then go back into a child's pose for a stretch. Take an inhale here and a deep exhale. And then push up all the way on all fours. And then you all can turn towards me. Nice job, everybody. I know that was like a 25 minute mat Pilates session there, just to get our bodies moving this Wednesday with some mat Pilates. Nice job. Give yourselves a high five, high five. Thank you again, Sonja, for coming. Thank you all for participating in UnWind Wednesday. Do not forget to go ahead and take all the steps for the giveaway because it ends at 11:59 for your entries. Again, we have some really cool things that are included in the wellness bag. So go complete your entry literally right after this so that way you might win. All right. Everyone have a great night. Go follow Black Girl Pilates if you're not. You should be, but you know, if you're not, now is your time. And I'll see y'all in October too at the Black Girl Pilates conference. Everyone have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.